Seafan Sports, the sports show that is dedicated to Seattle sports fans. My name is Dave, this is Kevin, and this is Mariner Weekly. Now, before we jump into Mariner Weekly, Kevin, got a couple of things that we'd like our viewers out there to do. The first one is make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you. I use my manners. You got to do it now. All right. Secondly, make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button, giving us thumbs up, giving us thumbs down if you got to. Make sure that you leave comments in the comment section down below. And by the way, thank you guys for agreeing with me, saying that Chris Bryant is the man last week. We had tons of Chris Bryant love out there, and I'm all about that love. All right, Kevin, let's go ahead and get going into this week's episode. Before we do, though, I have one final announcement, you guys. Make sure that if you can't get to your YouTube platform, that you are downloading Seafan Sports on every major podcast outlet. We are there. Just type in Seafan Sports and we will pop up. We are on the World Wide Web like crazy people. So now that we got all of that out of the way, Kevin. Now, this week, Kevin and I read an interesting article by Bob Nightingale saying that we need to get another right-handed power bat and a left-handed outfielder. That should be the two major needs as soon as the gates open and we're able to rush out and get our players to round out this team. So anyway, Bob Nightingale writes a report saying that we are going to need to get a right-handed power bat and a left-handed outfielder. And we've already kind of discussed the fact that we've got either Trevor Story or we've got Chris Bryant, and those are going to be that right-handed power bat that is going to be able to come in and provide that to us. And two left-handed outfielders that we think that they could be interested in, Odual, Herrera, and Michael Conforta. Both of them left-handed. Both of them have played well in the outfield. Goodness. And, I think that they could play well for us. Kevin, what do you think?
Well, I think both of them would be solid pickups. I mean, obviously, I prefer to have Michael Conforto. We've talked about him in the past. Because we've already really kind of have three left-handers on our staff. I mean, Jared Kelnick is a left-hander. Jake Fraley's is a left-hander, who's still young, by the way. And so is Taylor Trammell. I mean, those two guys are really young, and Jared Kelnick's young. So I think that, if we could get a Michael Conforto, I know that what Bob was trying to say is that, somebody like Odual Herrera is kind of a backup outfielder, not really a starter, and he would be a great fit. I mean, he did have a 1.8 WAR, 13 home runs last year. He batted .260, which is probably our best outfielder. I mean, I don't think anybody came close. I mean, Mitch Haniger was close, but he had a .416 slugging and a .726 OPS. So I think that, Odual Herrera could be a quality guy. I don't know if Michael Conforto will be a fourth outfielder, kind of a backup. I think he's going to want starting money. So,
all right, well, then let me ask you this, Kevin. Why don't we just scrap all that and throw the left hand and the right hand out of the window and just go after the best guy? I think that's clearly Seiya Suzuki.
It's tough to say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And we have talked about this a lot, and I'm going to continue to talk about this. This guy is a right-handed hitter, not a left-handed hitter. But man, he ended up the year with an 8.4 WAR last year.
Wow.
He his 2021 stats, in 132 games, he had 533 plate appearances, 77 runs, 88 RBIs. He had 138 hits, 26 doubles, 38 home runs. And he also had 87 walks and 88 strikeouts. So he doesn't strike out at all. I mean, this guy is an unbelievable, batter. He had a .319 batting average, .433 OBP, a 639 slugging, and a 1073 OPS. I love this kid. He is absolutely amazing. I don't know how well it's going to translate to to the major leagues, but I obviously this kid can hit and he
I'd
can
like to
play.
see it.
He has, according to what everybody's saying, he has a 70 grade on his arm. He had 13 assists and 4 double plays in the outfield.
Wow.
This
Okay.
guy's fast enough to play short center field, but they say his right field is his best position. He had a 989 fielding percentage last year. He's won 4 gold gloves and just unbelievable. I mean, if we're going to spend money on an outfielder, let's just spend money. So that's just my take on it. I want this guy. I really want this guy.
Well, and not only that, but his idol growing up was Ichiro.
Absolutely.
Now, let's kind of move on a little bit. Now, one of Kevin's loves in his life, and we're not going to tell his wife because we don't want to, is Matt Olsen. Kevin loves him some Matt Olsen, but it sounds like we're going to have a harder time getting Matt Olsen away from the Oakland Athletics, and probably they're going to have to get Russell away from the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to cost a ton. And I don't think that we are going to give that up. When I think, according to everything that I've read this week, there is an alternative, maybe even better than Matt Olsen. I know, Kevin, that's blasphemy.
That is blasphemy. Nobody's better than Matt Olsen, in my opinion. So
I know. But this guy, I don't know. He is only the National League MVP. So, I think Freddy Freeman would look really good in a Seattle Mariner uniform. And I think not only would he look good, but he is not only going to probably be our best hitter day one, even if we do bring in a Chris Bryant. I think that this kid is going to bring in the experience, the savvy of a person that has gone through the postseason, and he's going to bring that to the Mariners team. It is extremely important that we have a guy of this caliber, of this ilk, that is going to be able to go in and rub off on all of these young players and bring them along. I think Freddie Freeman is an amazing choice. It locks down our first base, and then it frees up Ty France to move to other positions or be his backup or his second or third. I mean, it just opens up everything for the Seattle Mariners, and I think it would be an absolute great idea to spend that money that they've been saving for years on Freddie Freeman.
Well, Kevin, when I read the article from Brent Stecker on 710 ESPN, I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense until I started doing some homework. Okay, so he's probably not going to re-sign with Atlanta. That's what they're saying. It's just not working. Rumor has it that New York wanted him really, really bad, but they don't want to pay him what he wants. So he's out there, and I think he would look really good in Seattle, because I never thought about it before, because I just assumed he was going to go back to Atlanta or go to New York. So I started doing some research on him. He was the 2020 National MVP. He's a 5-time All-Star. He had a 4.7 WAR last year, 120 runs, 88 RBIs, had 180 hits, 25 doubles, 2 triples, 31 home runs, 85 walks, 109 strikeouts, or 107 strikeouts. He had a 300 batting average. And in the last 6 years, he's only been under 300 once, and that was 295. So this guy is a solid contact hitter. He had a 503 slugging and an 896 OPS. But here's one thing that really stood out to me. His fielding percentage was 998, and he had 3 errors at first base all of last year. This guy is absolute stud. Now he is 32 years old, or he'll be playing at 32 and 33. I think his birthday's in September. But if we can do a 5-year contract, so I started thinking, well, why do we need a right-handed power bat? I mean, I would like to have Chris Bryant or Trevor Story, but we also lost Kyle Seager. Hit 35 home runs from the left-hand side. We have a short porch. I mean, it's perfect for Freddie Freeman. And if we could get Freddie Freeman and somebody else as well, I just sign me up. And I know Ty France was never really a first baseman coming up. I mean, he played first and third and second. He played pretty good at second base, and then he really excelled at first. But I really think that with coaching and practice, he could be a good at any position. He might not be a gold glove at any position, but boy, to be able to get a chance to get Freddie Freeman, sign me up.
So what is it? What if we do something like this? What does that do to an Evan White?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Evan White, and he is a gold glover, but if the guy can't hit in the major leagues, he's not going to be on our team. I mean, that's just the way it is. And right now, Ty France has it locked up for this year. I mean,
Right.
Jerry's already said that. So if you could get a guy like Freddie Freeman to come in and play for you, why would you not? If you can get a Matt Olsen, if they're asking way too much and everybody backs out of it, and you could pick him up for a couple players instead of the entire farm. Boy, I would love to have a power hitting first baseman that bats 300 all day long.
Well, Kevin, you're not the only one. I think that's going to be something that everybody in the Seattle area is going to want to have, is that power hitting first baseman, and I'll take a left-hander all day long. Kevin, is there anything else that you wanted to throw out there this week?
Go Mariners.
Go Mariners.